Clean, sharp, straight, like an engine. Running 24/7 on go. Pulling fade up like a string in a bow. Any mountain to a mist, just another road. Leaves his mark everywhere like a beast.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I have for you my 60 card build, and this is going to be the build that I'm going to be testing for the month of June, or at least until Chaos Origins gets here. And I'm really excited about this list. It's super consistent. It gets me to the boards I want to get to. I'll explain some of the tech choices in here, obviously, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this because Heroes are in a really good state right now, and as you can see, it has been winning for the last couple of weeks. But not to hold y'all up, let's go ahead and jump into it. We're gonna do 3 stratos. So I've been seeing a lot of hero players have this at 2. You know, like the big channels, Jaden BR, you know, Sam, all of them, like they're having this at 2. And I get because they have a smaller deck count, you know, like they really don't need to have as many in there. But this is a 1-card starter for our deck. And I feel like if you have 1-card starters, then you need to see as many 1-card starters as possible. And not to mention, heroes are a very big engine and it's going to require at least 3 of these, because I do find myself, if I'm running 2 and I draw 1 in my opening hand along with ejector, then you kind of kill that other stratos in your deck. So like you can't go through this all the way like you normally would. So I think 3 is the way to go, and I like options, so I like to keep it at 3. So 3 ejector, I think this is a staple. I don't understand why anybody runs this less than 3. You know, I know people will say like, oh, well, you're only going to use 1. Like you really never use even 2, but that's not the point. The point is, if I'm going first and I want to see the best cards in my deck, I want to see this. This 2 is a 1-card starter. So you definitely need to see this going first, especially going second. You know, it's like a circular for heroes, so you want to see it. For the rest of the Element Hero lineup, we have 1 Neos, 1 Shadow Mist, and I'm running Liquid Soldier. So I think because I run a 60 card build that I want to dig into my deck as much as possible. So if I do happen to use this as a fusion material and it lets me draw 2, discard 1, I don't see why you wouldn't want to do that. You know, it's a kind of like a watered down Graceful Charity for heroes, so take advantage of it. You can use it very easy with Neos, and then it's a water, so you can put it with anything in this. And then the 1 Aqua Dolphin, so I just kind of round this up with ejector. But that is for the Elemental Heroes. Now I would run Blaze Man, but I don't really think you need it. I mean, it's good, but you know, I think it's at personal preference at that point. Going forward, I am still on the Vision Hero package. So this is a soft starter for heroes, and before we got the Masked Heroes and things like that, ejector, you know, like obviously this was one of the best starters in heroes, and I don't think we should abandon it, you know, like it's some rapid dog. You know, I don't think that Fountain moves the needle for heroes so much that you need to absolutely get this out of the deck. Now obviously I have Increase in the deck, and yes, that is a brick, but if you think Heroes is a deck made of bricks, and the best way to move some of these bricks is to have cards that help you move them. So if I draw Malicious, if I draw the Shadow Mist, this can get it out of hand and let you plus off of that. I never hate seeing this in my opening hand, so I do think Ferris needs to stay. And then, you know, you do your 2 Vion and then your 1 Increase. I think 3-2-1 is the way to go with this package. You could argue put Vion to 1. I mean, if you said you wanted to do 2-2-1 or 2-1-1, I don't think you'd be wrong, but I don't think we should be cutting this card. I do think it's a soft starter for heroes, and I think any chance heroes can get anything moving in their hand, you should go in that direction. So for the Destiny Hero lineup, I still have Plasma. I do think people see Plasma on the board and it just negates their whole board. You'd match this with Dark Claw and it's GG's. Same thing with Dark Angel. You know, Dark Angel has been seeing a lot of play, especially in the winning list, especially, you know, with the regionals. If you play this against Sky Striker, they lose. You play this against almost any deck, they lose. This is basically your way to get out of Super Poly. So I know you can go into Cosmo Neos and kind of do it that way, but I think Dark Angel is more realistic, and especially if you have this, Dark Claw, and DPE, because anytime they summon something, you just go DPE to pop their summon, and then they can't link this off. So this is obviously very, very helpful. And then you got Denier, and then your 3 Malicious to get everything going with that. For the Mass Heroes, I've decided to do one of each. And so I really was big on having this at 2. For testing, I loved having this at 2 and 3. Just reveal it and special a hero. I think that's so good. But at the same time, this does nothing by itself and this does nothing by itself. This is the only one that half-ass does something. So, and then obviously you can search everything out and then just pick your poison when you get this out. Go get this to get your poly or your mass change, and then obviously this to get your mass change. So I definitely think running one of everything is the way to go for that package. And then I haven't given up on it. I am on the Evil Hero package because I don't think the Evil Heroes are bricks. You know, Dead in Prison can be a starter on its own. This gets you into your Evil Assault, and then you get your plays going with that. So the way I wanted to preference this deck is I wanted to see as many starters as possible. Now, obviously you could say, well, you could run 3 gold. Well, I don't think you necessarily need that. But I think in 60 cards, you want to see as many things to get you to your starters as possible. You're going to lose a Droll anyway. Unless you have the out for it, Droll is going to eat the deck alive. I understand that Fountain gives us a little bit of wiggle room around that to get to a Dark Law. But at the same time, I'm not here to play around Droll. There's no way to even do that. You're never going to start your combo playing around Droll. Especially in Heroes, at least. Because you have to search everything. So, that is it for the monster lineup. And on to the spells. For the spells, we do 3 Fusion Destiny. It's the 1 card starter. Like I said, we are trying to max out on 1 card starters. And then to follow that up, we have Hero Lives. And then Evil Assault. So this obviously isn't a 1 card starter because you need a discard, but at the same time, you want to see this in your hand, because if I have bricks in my hand, like let's say I draw the Aqua Dolphin for some reason and I want to just pitch a card, you can use this to pitch it. That's not a bad idea. And then obviously your Hero Lives gets you into your Stratos. This gets you into your full lineup. This gets you into your Dark Angel, no problem. So I do think if when you talking about heroes, you want to see as many cards to get your plays going as possible. All right, and then for a little bit of consistency, a little more consistency, we have 2 E-Call, 1 Rhoda, and 1 Foolish Burial. All these can get you into your 1 card starters. So to the fusions, we do run 2 poly. I think 1 poly it doesn't do it. I think you need to run 2. 2 is a very safe number, and I don't see any fault in running 2. I mean, you can run 1. I just don't think that's optimal in my opinion. And in 60 cards, you know, I think you can get away with running 2. 1 Miracle, 1 Mass Change, and the Ian Shuffle, and then Favorite Contact. So these are your bricks of the deck, so try not to have too many of them, but it's Heroes, we know how it is. So for the hand traps and breakers, we have 3 Fua. I do think Fua is one of the best turn stopper cards in the game still. I know decks like Cool Tune and stuff like that can kind of play around this and not give you many draws, but once they see this, any deck that sees this, they kind of alter what they want to do as far as their full combo. So we do 3 Ash, 2 Droll, and the Ash Blossom is basically for Fua. That is technically all that's for, and I guess maybe Branded Fusion, but if you're playing against Branded, you're really not stopping Branded Fusion because they're not really running it, but essentially that's what you would run it for. So yeah, you got the 2 Droll. So shout out to Dark Magician Tactics on putting me on Ghost Ogre, because this card, I think Doom Z is our worst matchup. So Ghost Ogre really hurts them when they go to do the continuous trap to make it basically be like Droll, to where you can't add cards from the deck to the hand. So Ghost Ogre is definitely, I think, the MVP of the hand traps as far as that matchup. Now you could argue this can go on the side deck because there's other options you could put in here to do a little more, but I'm not playing for that. I think I try to expect any deck that I'll play. So, because the same thing can go for Droll. Droll doesn't do anything to like brand it and stuff like that. So, I think you play for what you can get into. So, to round it off, we run 3 Droplet and 1 Called By. So, essentially, you have 4 outs to Fua, because Fua against this deck is absolutely terrible. I do not want to play into Fua. So, on to the extra deck. For the extra, we have 2 Dark Law. I think 2 is the way to go. I think this is going to be the best card in the format. You match this with Dark Angel on the other side, not only is all their stuff banished, they can't do anything as far as spells, so they can't fall into the Virtuous You, they can't do anything. So I think Dark Law, and then obviously it's a hand rip, and then I don't see, like, this by itself, yeah, it's not that great. You can easily get out of Dark Law, but you match this with Angel, DPE, and then a Contrast or a Plasma, then you're cooking. Like, there's really not much you can do. So this is going to be the MVP of Heroes. That's just my opinion. I still think you run 2 Chaos. I think having this as your Omni Negates, because then you can get into the second one. You're normally only going to summon 1, but technically if I have a chance to get to 2 of them, I'm going to probably put out 2. So for the rest of the Element of Heroes, we do have 1 Infernal Rage, 1 Sunrise, 1 Shining Neos, and then 1 Voltic Thunder, 1 DPE, 1 Trinity. I do find that going second, if I need something to get into, if I can kind of get all the negates out the way, this can clear boards, and it's just so good. So one thing I'm going to try is the Aqua Neos. I think the hand rip effect with this is so good, because hypothetically, if you do happen to draw the Miracle Fusion and you don't need to go into your Sunrise, just summon this off of your Infernal Rage. And then you just discard a card, discard one of your random bricks, and then just rip a card out of your opponent's hand. Now, obviously, it's random, so you really can't pick, but you still rip a card. Anytime you can get hand advantage, you're winning. So that is it for the fusions. And for the links, it's pretty standard: 2 cross, 1 driver, and then 1 divisor. You're still running 2 of this, because a lot of times you will get stopped on this, and then you'll have to find a way to get into your second one, and then you just combo from there. Too many times I find myself needing the second one, so I definitely don't think you should go to 1 or cut this, especially if you're running Destiny. Now, if you're not running Destiny Heroes, then yeah, cut this. You don't need this. It would make no sense to run it at that point. But guys, that is it for the deck profile. This is going to be the list that I'm testing this weekend, and I'm looking to be very, very successful with it. I've been doing a lot of testing with this deck, and the hands have been absolutely wonderful, and I find myself drawing 2-3 starters along with some hand traps or breakers or ways to kind of stop your opponent from drolling you or fooling you or whatever. So I really, really enjoy this list. I do think for Heroes right now, 60 cards is the way. Obviously, that's just my personal preference. I don't think it's perfect by any means. You know, I don't have any regional wins or tops under my belt with Heroes, so it's hard for me to really put that out there. But as far as seeing testing consistently, especially against my locals is very, very competitive. Everything you see is meta. You're not going to see many rogue decks. So I've seen a lot of success with Heroes, and I definitely feel this list is going to be optimal going forward, especially if we get a regional soon with Chaos Origins coming up. So we will see this weekend. I will definitely give y'all an update on that, so look out for that vlog. If you enjoyed this kind of content, definitely let me know. I don't mind posting more deck profiles more often. I do have some combo videos I want to put out, but I mean, everyone kind of figures, you know, hero combos are pretty vanilla, so you're really just kind of doing the same thing over and over again. But I definitely don't mind putting those out there and getting into more detail than some of the things you see online. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. But other than that, guys, that's all I got for you today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoy content like this, definitely hit that subscribe button. And until then, I'll see y'all in the next one. Heroes Best Deck.